Hello and welcome back to Tiny Table Talks. We're here every Thursday on Spotify and YouTube, so be sure to check us out. And don't forget to follow us at the CC Zone. Last week, the team decided to take a jab at discussing video games because most of us at Tiny Table Talks have been using video games as a way to hang out with our friends during this quarantine. But what happens during things like birthdays and other celebrations where we're so used to getting together? The team will find out as we discuss celebrating and socializing during quarantine. Since we are still taking measures to adhere to social distancing, the team got together on Zoom to answer some questions. Here we are now. My name is Ariana, and I'm in the Zoom with 4 people.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. My name is Maeva, and yeah, good old Maeva. I missed the previous podcast though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed the last podcast, Maeva.
We're glad to have you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
This whole thing wasn't the same without you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we did miss you.
miss you too.
Hi guys, I'm Sabrina.
Hi guys, I'm Chloe.
Woo! Yeah, rocking it.
And today it's 4th of July. So it's the Independence Day of France. So
Right!
Oh,
Bastille Day!
Oh yes.
I thought you were talking about the 4th. I thought you said the 4th of July for a second there. So I was like, did you miss like 10 days or something like that?
I'm late. No,
And
in
also-
France is the 14th of July.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I don't know how to fix my hair. I think it's disgusting all the time, and now it's even worse just because. So I'm probably just gonna be doing this the entire podcast. Sounds like fun. Also,
So-
my mom is in the background. Mom, get out of here!
All right, so this is kind of cool that we're kicking off talking about celebrating and socializing during quarantine, since Chloe, you just mentioned that it's Bastille Day in France. How are people celebrating during lockdown?
So basically the day before there's many fireworks. So it's still happening because on the social media I saw all my friends like posting fireworks, everybody having the same stories. And usually there is kind of like some prom. I don't know if you call it like that, but you go to every city is organizing some parties and people come to celebrate. But this has been cancelled, of course, which is kind of strange because in June we also have a party that is called the Party of the Music. And I saw on social media everybody on the street, like it was crowd with music and everything, like if there were no coronavirus.
Oh gosh. I guess maybe some of the rules are like different, and some of the stuff they have in play, they might be in a different like phase, if anything, maybe.
In Canada, it's stage 2, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're in phase 2, like Ontario wise. I know Vancouver's in phase 3. If I'm not mistaken.
It depends on the city.
Yeah. Or like region, I guess.
I don't know. Maeva, do you know which phase is France right now?
When France noticed that the number of coronavirus cases were decreasing, they just like, okay, we're gonna open all the restaurants and everything. I think they were not stages, I think.
They just open everything right away.
Well, I mean, I guess for us now, since we're all in Ontario, we're still trying to adhere to these rules as best as possible, especially when things were starting. Did anyone, Maeve, I know you had a birthday during quarantine, but like, did anyone else have any kind of birthdays or celebrations in quarantine that they've had to kind of improvise on for celebrating?
Oh yeah, my birthday was like the first week of quarantine.
Oh,
It was on the 20th of March. So what, like I think that was right. I think that was like the day that Canada's like rate of COVID cases went over like 100 or like 500 or something, kind of like big moment where everyone was like, okay, this is actually gonna be a problem. That's fun. And yeah, that was I had a fun plan because it was the first time in about 6 years that my birthday was on a Friday. And let's be honest, birthdays are always fun anytime, but birthdays on Fridays are just the magical moments. So I was all like way beforehand, like I got a big group of people and I was like, okay, let's all meet up, let's hang out at my place for a bit, play a whole bunch of video games, and then go down to the movie theater to go see Onward. And that definitely didn't happen. Instead, was pretty much at home, hanging out with my family, and just taking calls all day long.
Like on your hotline.
Yeah, pretty much. I had to get a little assistant to put in times for everybody. It's like, oh yeah, the 3:15 birthday song slot has already been taken. Sorry, we can squeeze you in at 6:17 a.m. Sounds good.
Yeah.
There's probably even more people that call you because of quarantine, so people have more time.
Yeah, it was kind of it was a lot more like, hey, happy birthday. By the way, are you alive? Okay. Yeah, it was definitely a very different vibe, you know.
Yeah. I think mine was like the week before quarantine. So like my birthday party celebrations was that Sunday right before. So I got super lucky. Like just I did a drag brunch and then like walked around downtown with my friends. And then a few days after that, everything started. So I was like, okay.
But it was nice to get that celebration in. Right before quarantine started.
Yeah, I like had my fill.
It was.
That's the thing. It felt like the first few like weeks of quarantine, I was like, oh, I'm fine. Like I already had my fill because like I'm not like super duper like outdoorsy or like not super duper outdoorsy. Sorry. Usually I spend more time indoors. So I was like, I had my fill for a while. It was only like maybe a month or two in. I was like, oh, okay, now this is getting to me.
Okay, so my birthday was I think on Saturday, and it was my 25th birthday. And I wanted to throw like
Freedom 25, yo.
No. I thought I wanted to throw a party with like all my friends and family, but I was like, okay, probably not. Probably not. So I just stayed in my room, just answered my birthday wishes, and just like slept in.
Did you still get any presents?
Oh, one of my friends dropped me some cupcakes, and then he left. I was like, here you go. I was like, okay, thank you.
Oh,
that's
right.
So
actually,
nice.
Almost the exact same thing happened as to me actually, because again I've been at home with my parents and my brother, and my mom is the greatest, and like she didn't really want to go out and buy anything, but any sort of cake or anything, but she did have like 2 or 3 boxes of cake mix in one of her cupboards. So she was cooking that up. She had like just put the icing on it by the afternoon, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be delicious. And right as I said that, I hear a little ring on the doorbell, and I check like the little side table, and there's a cake. And a friend of mine had like gone out, bought a cake for me, and left it on like the porch, and he was like a good like 10 feet away. I was like, oh, dude,
wow.
Now I'm gonna have like cake for the next like 2 months.
Cute.
Yeah, it was really nice of him.
Sabrina, what about you? Did you have a birthday, or did you have anyone who had any celebrations?
My birthday is actually coming up at the end of the month. So yeah, so maybe you guys can help me plan it. I don't know, in quarantine. I think I'm just gonna do like a big call with my friend, with my friends. Probably not with like one friend. No. Yeah, probably a group call or something like that. Honestly, yeah. I'm not big on celebrations anyway, so I'm pretty happy with that, like personally. But I've had friends who've had birthdays like during quarantine, and it's been the same format, like a big call. It's really cute. Yeah.
What about any kind of occasions that have been unrelated to birthdays? Like, were there any baby showers, graduations, or anything like that?
My cousin just graduated from university, and the way that they like she couldn't go to those convocation. So they just edited a video with everyone's picture. And and I think this Friday she's gonna have her graduation picture taken. But other than that, there's no like big celebration for students this year.
Well, hold on, let me show you something.
Oh yeah. Drum roll.
Got this in the mail
about
a week and a half ago.
Yo, congrats.
I was actually supposed to do my graduation ceremony in June. And of course, that didn't wind up happening at all. I haven't even got my graduation picture done yet.
Oh my God. Is that like your diploma and everything in there? Because I know, did you get like any kind of merch too? Because I know my boyfriend got like
a full package. If you want, I've been waiting for the right time to open this up. I haven't opened it yet. I can do it during the podcast.
You can do it now.
Do it. I love it.
Get the scissors.
Do it.
I thought we were doing a podcast. When did this become an unboxing channel? Okay. This is success. I'm not gonna get it.
Oh my god!
Congrats.
And there's like, and there's like streamers. Woo, woo.
Stop.
Oh god, okay, now I'm gonna have a cleanup operation to do after this. So you got this, and of course, I would have been very upset if they didn't have this along with it. Got the fancy hat.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd just like to thank everyone who believed in me, and to everyone who didn't believe in me, which was a sizable percent. Thank you as well. You kept things interesting, actually. Ah, jeez, this is a small one. I love how
Your brain is too bigger.
I should have worn like a suit today. I feel kind of silly, like in my old like green shirt. Got the George Harrison on. What the heck is this? Oh, a little Yorkview button.
Oh, wow.
And
Goodies.
then
Do you
your
like
convocation, very long, blah blah blah. All right. Now I'm just imagining like, what's the most like improper way to use this paper?
What is your major?
Marketing. What do you think?
Oh, marketing.
No. I majored in muffin baking. That's what I'm doing at Canada Create.
Ah, muffin baking.
Yeah. Oh, and Maeva, I'm not sure if during our like preliminary interview for Canada Create, I had said that like I had fully graduated already. Well,
Yeah. You lied during your
I mean, like
interview.
I'd finished
lied.
I had finished all the classes. I just hadn't gotten a piece of paper. But now I got that paper, yo.
That's so exciting because like
Hold
you're
on.
just like celebrating your graduation with us technically. So we have our little like celebration.
Oh, and now-
so thank you, Ben. Wow.
Oh, thank you guys. This was that's literally just been like sitting there for a good like week. I'm just going like, I don't really feel right to open it right now. I couldn't have picked a better time.
Did you and your family do anything to try to celebrate your graduation as well?
Not really, no. I mean, to be honest, we've had like a couple little celebrations that keep on popping up. Like my brother got hired at a law firm. So we celebrated that one
nice.
evening.
Congrats to your
And then, of
brother.
Yeah,
course-
congrats.
And then, of course, like I wasn't sure if I was going to still be working here over the summer. And then I found out I would be able to. So we celebrated that. So yeah, there's honestly just been those celebrations. And we keep on saying like, oh yeah, by the way, I graduated university. And they're just like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I think what we just did now, especially like our own little
Yeah.
Canada Create celebration, that was pretty creative. I'm just wondering like if there's any other creative quarantine celebration tactics you've seen.
Seen on YouTube quite a couple for graduating classes actually, and like virtual proms. I've seen a lot of that. Yeah, for students who didn't get a chance to have that.
Yeah.
You know, there's an age-old question. How do you make prom even more awkward and weird? Answer, put it online. Jesus.
How do you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just everyone putting up Christmas lights by themselves in like a random room in the house.
Yeah.
With their phone.
I mean, that's been the thing. Like, everyone's been like one thing that I've sort of refrained from doing is like I have a lot of friends, obviously, who are graduating as well. And they've been getting this same sort of diploma package, and they've almost immediately, like every time, had like that kind of doing it for the Insta kind of like pose afterwards, where they get all dressed up, they're in their backyard, surrounded by like nobody else, posing with the diploma and this baby on their head. And I'm always just like, really? Like, I get it, but also just, I don't know. Like, I guess you've earned a graduation picture, but still, it's just weird. I would love it if you were actually at the ceremony.
In Europe, we don't have this kind of celebration. Like for me, it's kind of a dream to do that, like in High School Musical.
Oh, like throw the hat and everything. What do you guys do?
Nothing.
Get a job.
Except if you pay to go to like a business school. So you have this kind of celebration, but no, we don't have much.
When I had to get my undergrad diploma, I had to go to the administration office. Then she was like, okay, you can sign it. I signed it, and then she was like, here you go. I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
It was like so anticlimactic.
To be honest, I prefer that, I think.
That's fair,
Thinking about a post-secondary graduation, there's a lot of people. Like you gotta sit there for a while. I
Yeah.
would say no.
My brother had like a graduation from his law school last year, but he was like doing a joint law and joint like MBA program. So he had to go to 2 separate like super long graduation ceremonies on the same day.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to only attend one of them because I had to go to work later on that day. But my mom like met up with me, went to the first ceremony, did a little after thing, and then like an hour later met up with my uncle, and then went and watched the second graduation ceremony. So they were doing nothing but graduation stuff from about 9 a.m. till something like 7 or 8 p.m.
Oh,
Wow.
Wait, is he the oldest?
He's the oldest of 2. I'm the youngest.
Fair. No, because like I feel like for graduation I didn't want to do mine, but then I'm the oldest in mine, so it was more so like my parents' day than my day, because it was like, oh, first kid is done, like what an achievement. So I feel like 80% of the time like people aren't as excited about their own graduation as it is like, oh, like let me do this thing for my parents, because they can actually see all, like this is proof that I was at the school, I put in work. They have nothing
I wasn't
other
just faking it for 4 years.
They literally have nothing other than your word, like if you're away, like once you're there. Like they don't get report cards, they don't get anything. Graduation is
That's
like
true.
proof.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like proof of you that you've ever even had an education at all. I get it.
That's true about the report cards too. I think there was a good like third of all my classes that I think even to this day I don't entirely know what my mark was. I mean, the diploma tells me that I passed them, so yay me. So
That's good.
that works.
Yeah, that's good.
Honestly, yeah.
the celebration for my master should be in December, if I have it.
Mm-hmm.
And with my old class, we asked to the administration to organize something big for next year. So we want to order things, do the video and everything.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you might do, like if things happen to like kind of get worse in France in regards to like quarantine and the rules, like if you had to kind of follow harsher rules, what do you think you guys would do in that event to celebrate?
I think we're gonna do online, huh?
Actually, now with like things not completely loosening up, but like loosening up a little bit here, like there's more gatherings, like say for example you can go with up to 10 people. Is anyone taking advantage of that out of all of us right now, or are we still biding our time?
I mean, I'd say a little bit of both, because like even before like the 10-person thing came, there was certain occasions where I'd at least see other people and still just like maintain that like far distance. And now I suppose it's just like, oh, if we're in a group with people, then we can be just a little bit more liberalized in what we do. Yeah, I don't know. The one thing that's still just really solid is like no people in this house, nobody.
Yeah, actually same.
I was just wondering if you guys knew if some restaurants were open for dine-in now, because I've been seeing
patio
people...
service is open.
Patio service. Yeah, I have been seeing more people recently going out to restaurants.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yeah.
Like, are any of you gonna go venture out, or are you waiting maybe until there's another phase, or?
To be honest, I don't know that many people in Canada. I just know you. So I can't do many big gathering. But I go a lot to the beach. And for the Canada Day, there were people everywhere, and that was group of people. They were way much more than 10, like families, even 2 meters away from each other. Like I think if it was not quarantine, it would be the same. There is a park downstairs all the time. There's groups of people doing barbecue and everything. In my neighbors, there's not this fears, let's say.
Yeah. Does that like bother you at all, or do you just stay away from it kind of thing?
Like if you see someone on the street, the other person that you don't know, it will be careful and like try to stay 2 meters away. It's more like when you see groups of people and they know each other, there will be more than 10 for sure. That doesn't bother me because they are
like away.
They're away from me.
Yeah, never did I think I'd be so upsetted by just people, like giant groups of people just out in a field or something like that. Like at my old elementary school, which is only a few blocks away from me, there's been huge groups of like teenage kids hanging out just like really late at night, hanging out in like groups of 20, 25, like even before we went into phase 2. I was just like, okay, I guess we have a little slice of America right up here. I guess, yeah.
I've seen it too. I've seen it around the malls. Like before the mall was even open, I've seen gathers of big people. When I'm like driving around, it's like,
Yeah, I feel like more of like the random clusters of people are going to just keep happening because so many events throughout are just getting canceled too. CNE's off. They just canceled Nuit Blanche. It's going to be online now.
Oh no!
Right?
Really?
I know. I was devastated. I love going. It was like, yeah, just only online, and that's all the way in October. So like, I think people are going to try to do what they have to do to like see each other, whether it's like safely or not now.
Is anyone on Fan Expo?
No, I haven't heard anything yet. I feel like that would be like like you would know because that would be like a huge thing if it was canceled.
Yeah, I would. I just did a survey on like that got sent to me via email where it's like, would these like social distancing options A, B, C, or D like increase your chances of attending some kind of fan expo this fall? And I'm just like, if you have cool posters of anime, I'm gonna be there. Okay, Jesus. That was pretty much my survey for them.
Is that like the major event that you're looking forward to where it's kind of like holding out like, please don't let this one be canceled? Yeah.
I'm always a really big fan of it because it's just really cool to see the spectacle, but I have like friends who are just like fanatics, Fan Expo addicts.
Like working on their costumes kind of thing, like right now?
No, here's how it goes is that like usually during summertime, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna try and get to this amount of money by the end of the summer. I'm gonna use like this just for like cost of living. Gonna use this for tuition, so on and so on. And then my friends are always like, okay, I'm gonna have this. Here's tuition, cost of living, Fan Expo, other stuff. Like they devote like a good like I don't know, like 50, 60, 70% of what they earn during the summer just for that like weekend of excursion.
Do they have like tables open, or are they just like costumes or
I really don't know. What, my friends?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they I have friends who like not only cosplay but have like different cosplays for each day.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, that is very expensive.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but that's very expensive and hard work.
Oh yeah, very, very, very expensive. And then my girlfriend designs weapons for either her cosplay or like cosplays that like her brother or like our other friends are doing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm glad you're starting to see why I love her.
Are there any like events that the rest of you were also looking forward to that maybe haven't been canceled yet? There might be a glimmer of hope.
New Year's Eve 2027. I think that would probably that might just barely start to like reopen by then. Honestly, like one that is just a general one is that I kind of hope that things are really solid for Halloween, because that's the other just really big celebration that not only I but like every one of my friends are just a huge fan of. And that's one of the few times where like I have friends who are either from school or from like an odd part of town, or I know from this friend. That's the one occasion where I'm able to like throw some kind of a party and get everyone in and having a good time. So I just really hope that I can actually do that indoors with all of them in the same room with me, having a lot of fun and being in awesome costumes. That's what I'm holding out hope for.
I don't know how trick-or-treating's gonna work though. Like I feel like Halloween parties might thrive, but trick-or-treating's probably like a no-go.
Yeah, no. Especially when they're kids like involved, it's pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw the candies.
COVID-19 is going to be the most trendy costume of 2020.
Oh God, yeah. Honestly, there was actually like at the drag brunch I went to, like one of the drag queens was one of like they were like a kind of like a quirky queen, and they were dressed as the COVID germ. It was either the COVID germ or like the Purell germ to like defeat. Oh no, it was the Purell germ to like defeat COVID, because then they had like these like things on them, kind of like the mop things, and then they like cleaned them. They used it to clean like the front window, like as part of their act. So that could definitely be a thing for Halloween.
How has that not become like a cartoon on Nickelodeon already? That sounds awesome.
I know. True. Oh my God. And just like overall too, what apps have we been using for like these kinds of events and things? Like I know we use Zoom for this, but for any other kind of celebrations, what are we using to keep in touch and do things in like bigger groups?
Messenger.
I'm using Instagram a lot. actually, just because it's so easy to like move from chat and like onto live like message or live chat or like video chat. It's pretty easy for us, I think.
Yeah,
I didn't use it yet. Like you can do like a Zoom meeting on Instagram apparently.
I've mostly been using Zoom for like almost any sort of chats, whether it's with you guys or with friends. Then Skype is still one that I hop back into every so often.
Yeah, same.
Although I feel like it's starting to become more and more like the MySpace of like video chat software.
Yeah.
Like no one really
yeah.
uses it anymore. I remember kind of early on in the chat, this wasn't some sort of like big group meeting, but I had a friend who I had fallen really out of touch with even before the pandemic had started up. So we finally started messaging like, hey, let's do something like silly like together. Let's set up Netflix party and like let's watch just a whole bunch of episodes of Fairy Tale together. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, that'd be great. So I can only really do it at like 12:30 or like 1 a.m. and then just keep going from there. And I'm like, okay. So we set it up. He doesn't have a Netflix party account. So I spend about 45 minutes going like, okay, go on to here, set this up.
Install that.
It doesn't work because he doesn't have like the right applications to do it. So I'm like, okay, how's about we just both watch on Netflix together and also like Skype. And then whenever we need to pause, we'll just say on the Skype, like pause. He's like, okay, that's great. I don't have a Skype account either.
Oh, man.
So I'm just, so then we spend another 45 minutes. Okay, do this, put the camera in here, username, and add me, and do that, then hit Fairy Tale, and finally at about like 3 a.m. we start watching Fairy Tale. Any sort of hoops you got to go through for that, you do it.
Ooh, did any of you use House Party in the beginning? Because it like blew up for like a hot minute.
I heard it. I heard about it. I have not used it yet. No.
No, I just used it like 1 or 2 with my friends, and after it disappeared. I don't understand.
Yeah, me too. I got it because one of my friends was like, this is the new app. Like, we're going to do it. It's so great. We can go in and out of each other's parties. So she convinced everyone in the group chat to get it. And for maybe like about a week and a half, we were kind of going in and out of each other's parties. And then eventually because I don't know, like there's something about being on there and someone just randomly coming to chat with you. You can't even click accept or decline. They're just going to talk to you if they want to talk to you. There's no barrier. So I was like, I don't dig this. So I stopped. And then I think just slowly it started dying down. And then like halfway through quarantine, they try to like bring people back by putting celebs on House Party.
Didn't work.
No.
Many accounts have been hacked.
Oh. Hacked accounts, really?
Yeah, it was very bad advertising.
Jeez.
Ooh, I did not hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either. It's like kind of similar to Zoom too.
Yeah.
Which is,
yeah, it's
which
not
is why
secure.
people moved it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to go in just a minute, but I had a quick question before I have to make my leave. And that was, what do you guys think you've like learned about just communicating and like maintaining friendships online over this whole quarantine mess? Do you feel like you're now like, once this is all over, you're going to rely much more on online communication when it comes to friends? Or do you think you're still going to hop right back to just traditional like meeting up with people face to face? Like it's not going to change at all?
I feel like online like communication and video chatting, this is really a really bad thing, but it's a really good way to be flaky, because I feel like if you set up plans to go out with someone and you flake on them or you cancel last minute, it's like really rude and it's really like, it's a terrible thing to do. But when it's like video chat, I feel like you feel less guilt doing that, because you know everyone's at home and like you set up a time and whatever and you're like, oh, I'll just push it back. So I feel like it's a little bit easier to be flaky.
Somehow it's worse though, because like that's so like instantaneous. Like they know you have nowhere to go.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not even like, oh, sorry, I can't like mission all the way here. It's like, no, I can't click accept call not today.
Yeah,
I'm so
exactly.
guilty of that. I'm very
I just
guilty.
don't want to. I just hate you.
It's like, I'm just not feeling, I'm just not like feeling
Exactly,
for a call
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I've definitely had that a lot.
Yeah, but especially like scheduled calls too, because it's not really like scheduled. You're in the middle of something and you're not gonna like stop what you're doing to like pick up your phone and call. I feel like that's like the thing.
True. Actually, yeah, I've definitely become like more like there's definitely more accountability, at least for me, like in terms of like learning how, like in communicating online during quarantine. So I'm definitely like talking to my friends a little bit more often. Like usually the group chat would be going and I'd see it, oh cool, maybe an occasional like LOL on my end, but now I'm like more active in it because I'm not like, when am I gonna see them? So I've definitely become more responsive as a result. Now, I don't know if that'll change once like the rules are lifted, but I guess this time has made me really grateful for the people I have because we've still been able to stay together, just like even like in a non-traditional way.
I tell you what, honestly, I everything about this whole pandemic and just our prime form of communication has made me appreciate just face-to-face interaction far, far, far more. Like I already was a big fan of it already. Like ask anyone that I know very well, like closely, is that I do not enjoy texting. I typically do not enjoy like any sort of like messages online. And Ariana, you were like flabbergasted at how few Instagram posts I'd made. Although I am trying to build on that a little bit more lately. But yeah, I guess it's just because I feel like truly strong, solid relationships I think are built up by a lot of like, you know, commonalities between people and just like interactions. But it's also just so much about like creating fun, observing fun experiences and like making really good memories. And you just can't do that when you're like 10 or 15, like 10 kilometers away and being connected by the internet, because it's just there's so much less to do. Like you can do your best to be like, oh, I'm doing this over here, let me show you this cool part of my house, but like I guess I'm kind of blaming everything about like just how like it's been harder to socialize. I think anyone would agree with me on that, that it's just been harder to maintain like solid relationships with people. And I guess I'm sort of being unfair because I'm kind of blaming it all on just the form of communication when it's also just the fact that we're all cooped up at home and we can't do anything about it. But yeah, I guess all I'm waiting for is just to be able to go out and experience the world with other people again. Both just being able to venture out into the world is one freedom that I'm hoping to get back real soon, but also just to have other people there with me physically is another thing that I'm really hoping.
Ooh, I will say that like in regards to like memories, I think stuff like video games and Jackbox, like I think that's been kind of helpful and like giving us like fuel for good memories for now, just in regards to quarantine. Or again, like any kind of burst of like celebration where it's like, oh, we threw this like specific party, or oh, I drove outside this person's house with a sign kind of thing.
That's really cute. Yeah.
Plus one thing that I feel like COVID in general is helping with is that I think it's helping everyone at least a little bit with self-reliance and just like being like I know a lot of people who like a few extroverted people who are like, I cannot like not be around people for too long or else I get like anxious and worried. I like have separation anxiety almost. And I feel like a lot of people like that can now sit at home and just slowly realize like it's okay to be on your own and just be alone with your thoughts a little bit more often for a while. So yeah, I've definitely thought that. I've definitely said to myself like, oh, I rely a lot on other people just to be entertained and just to have a good time. Like, but I can also do that just being at home, like playing some video games or reading a book or I don't know, opening up my diploma and messing around with
yeah. But I think on the opposite spectrum, it was really easy to close off everything in the beginning of quarantine because it was the perfect excuse for us to just not go anywhere and not talk to people, right? But then after a while, I think like I started to realize like, oh, I can't do this for too long. Like I do need to have my like dose of like socialization and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been feeling that too, like especially in those little instances where I've been back around people again, because it kind of feels like you know, you'd think it would be just like riding a bike, but I don't know, it's kind of like if you used to be like an avid jogger and then you stop for a little while and then you go out on a new run again, where it's like, okay, I can do this, but god damn, this is hard a little bit.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah. So, it's hard not to hug people.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I realize how much like contact and like just like you usually have with friends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so strange not to do that because like you're so used to it, but like you know you can't.
Sorry to do this, guys, but I really have to ship out right now. But as I leave, I just realized there was this last little thing in here that I didn't realize for a second what it is. And just to properly send off, I'll just do this.
Oh, congratulations!
Congrats!
And now I have a great big mess that I won't even have time to clean up. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be safe. Bye.
Yeah, be safe.
How would you want to celebrate your first post-quarantine birthday? If like all the rules are like lifted, you can do anything again. What would you do just because like now you finally have access to everything?
big party with everybody.
How big?
I don't know. I would like to invite everybody in my backyard. It's in beginning of October. So
there's
I don't know
time,
if
hopefully.
Yeah, but I would like to do it as the celebration of my birthday, and also like goodbye, I go back to Canada. But I think it's gonna be way much harder to find a job in Canada now than before quarantine. So maybe it's gonna be I stay in France forever party.
God, I hope not. Come back soon, please.
Like when this whole quarantine thing ends, I'm gonna celebrate my birthday, but twice.
True, you have a birthday to make up for.
Yes.
Oh my
twice,
God.
and just like invite my close friends, just just hang out. Yeah, or even walk downtown without the mask, without any mask.
I'm going to be turning 19, so I don't know. Maybe I could go to like a club or something for my first experience. Something like that.
Oh my God. Yeah, just if you had to do that like now, I feel like it'd be so weird because there'd be masks, there'd still be like social distancing.
How years old do you need to go to a club in Canada?
19.
It's not 21?
So it depends on the province. It's in Quebec, it's 18, and then I think everywhere else it's Quebec's 18, Alberta might be 18, and then everywhere else I think is 19, if I'm not mistaken. How do you think all these kind of new quarantine style of celebrating, like how will these methods be used once the rules are completely lifted?
I don't think a lot of people will, probably, because everybody's already so anxious to get out and see other people. That's most of the population. But to be honest, I do see myself having another like maybe video chat type of, not celebration, but more often. I think we'll do more video chats because it's just so convenient.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Actually, I feel like our grandkids will be like, "Why do you use the video chat so often?" Well, back in my day.
It's the only option we had.
Yeah, like literally. I think one of the things I'm still gonna keep using probably is Jackbox, just because like that would like people sincerely were like, "Oh my God, these are fun game nights. Like, let's do it again." So I think definitely like gaming is gonna have like a little bit more of like a surge. That's not the right word. But I think people will be more into that because like again, just like a tool to unite people, even if it's like probably after post-pandemic, it'll be more so if people are going back to school again or like have separate lives because of work. It could be like a quick way to get together. I think that will be less difficult because before people would be like, yeah, we can't see each other, we can't do anything because of this. But pandemic kind of showed that you can if you plan it enough and you have like the technology. Maybe.
I just feel awkward during video chat because I need to like communicate like in person, even for work or with my friends. So I think I just be careful with the social distancing still. But I think if like we find a vaccine, hopefully, I will be like before.
At the beginning of the quarantine, I did some video chat with a group of people, but like it stopped very quickly. Like now I'm just doing it with my family and my best friends. But it's things that I would do anyway if I were in France. But I don't do big party on the phone or anything. Yeah, because like it's not the same mood.
True.
But maybe like now party will be like smaller, more intimate, with less people. Who knows? Maybe Amir is going to organize a big party with many people for Halloween, as you said during the meeting this morning.
Fair. I bet there'll be like some people will definitely like want to do-overs for events that they missed during the pandemic for sure.
Like I have friends now, they are doing huge partying. they are not worried about quarantine anymore. I think they were so locked alone during the 3 months that now they really want to go party. And there's a lot of party in France right now.
There's these things I heard of in the States. I don't know if you guys saw this in the news. I just remembered. And actually, this is, oh God, this is like for events. So this is pretty relevant. But people were throwing these things called COVID parties.
Yes.
Where the host was someone diagnosed with COVID, and they'd invite a bunch of people just to see if someone would get it. And someone, I think in Texas or something, like in their 30s, attended one of these COVID parties because they thought COVID was a hox, wanted to see, and they ended up dying of it. And like their last words in the hospital were like, "This was a mistake. I shouldn't have thought it was a hoax."
Which is I saw that news article too. It's so jarring to see how many people like don't understand or can't do or won't do like the basic thing to keep other people safe, even if they think it's a hoax or not. Like it's not going to hurt you to wear a mask, really. It's like
and I saw that there were even betting money during this kind of party. Like the first one we're gonna have COVID is gonna raise is gonna won all the money.
Yeah, like a prize. Ugh.
But me, it make me really like what the when I saw all these people about US people, like, I don't want to wear a mask. Like, did you see this video of a girl, like, the reason why I don't wear a mask is the same reason why I don't wear underwear. It's because it need to breathe. And she's like 40 years old, and it's in the middle of like a big conference with governors and everybody.
That's a big no.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She was a Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
And I saw in the US they're gonna reopen Disney World too.
It's open in France.
That's gonna be interesting. Like, are they gonna? Do you know if they're staggering visiting times and stuff like that? Like, I know some places in Toronto are just to make sure there's no crowds.
Yeah, I think there's limited amount of people. You have to do the queue with 2 meters and everything.
And so, because it's easy to do at a grocery store because you just put the stickers and you're in the aisle, but like I can't imagine having to do that in Disneyland or Disney World or anything. I mean, hopefully, as the summer months go by, we'll be able to have more chances to actually go out, celebrate. Rules will hopefully be lifted because I think for the most part, like the people I've talked to, all of us, like we've been following everything, and no one's going to a COVID party here, right?
No. I don't have friends.
No.
No, you have us.
Yeah.
You don't invite me to your COVID party.
I would hope nobody's throwing one.
Yeah, I know.
Something interesting, actually. I went to see like a couple friends. We were socially distanced, like 2 meters apart. We were making sure we were wearing masks, but we did realize how much we express ourselves through our face. So like we kind of like be staring at each other and only seeing our eyes, and then like we kind of know that they're making a face, but we don't know what face they're making. So it's just like awkward, like staring for a bit, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't see my face." I'll have to like actually verbalize what I'm feeling to you.
Oh my god.
So that was like an interesting little thing that we had to adjust.
That wraps up our Tiny Table Talks on quarantine celebrations. We are still on Spotify and YouTube at the CC Zone, so be sure to check us out. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the CC Zone. Next week, we'll be getting together to share our own opinions on unpopular opinions. So bring your feelings, or actually maybe don't, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.